When was the last time you deleted a photo of yourself? Not because it was blurry, but because you didn't look good enough.
Now ask yourself, who taught you what good enough looks like? Was it your friends, your family, or your screen? Today, we're talking about beauty standards and how they shape the way girls see themselves.
Beauty standards are the ideas society creates about what is considered attractive. But here's something interesting. Beauty standards have changed constantly throughout history. In the Renaissance period, being curvier was seen as beautiful and healthy. In the 1920s, being slim and flat-chested was fashionable. In the early 2000s, extremely thin bodies were often promoted as ideal. Today, the ideal seems to be a mix of slim but curvy, something that's actually impossible to achieve. The perfect look keeps changing, but real bodies don't.
The problem isn't beauty itself. The problem is when beauty becomes a rulebook. When girls feel like they must look a certain way to be accepted. We see thousands of images every day, on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Many, if not most of these, are edited, filtered, carefully posed. But when we scroll past these images over and over and over again, our brains start to treat them like normal. And suddenly, normal doesn't feel good enough anymore.
Studies show that many girls start worrying about their appearance before they reach high school. Some compare themselves to influencers. Some compare themselves to celebrities. Some compare themselves to their very own friends. Comparison becomes constant, and comparison is exhausting. Because when beauty standards are unrealistic, they're impossible to win. Society is running a race and dragging girls to the finish line.
You've probably noticed, but Asian content and culture have started becoming extremely widespread across the globe. K-pop idols, skincare trends, makeup brands, fashion styles, it's all over social media. And a lot of it is beautiful. A lot of it is celebrated and called aesthetic. And in some ways, that feels empowering. Because I can look at my screen and see people who are Asian like me with similar facial features and be called beautiful. But at the same time, I've started to notice something. Even within this recognition of Asian beauty, there's still a very specific version of what it means to be pretty. The K-pop idols that go viral, the faces that get the most attention, they all seem to fit the same look. Flawless glass skin, Cupid's bow lip, V-shaped jaw, perfect superhuman proportions. And without anyone saying it directly, it starts to feel like that's the standard. Not just beauty, but the right kind of beauty. And I've caught myself thinking about it, looking in the mirror and thinking that I don't fit the mold, scrolling and comparing without even realizing it, buying dozens of blushes, lip glosses, cleansers, foundations, and draining my parents' bank account just to evaluate myself and ask, am I close enough? Will these products finally make me look pretty like the idols? And that's not healthy.
I, like a lot of other teenage girls, enjoy looking at aesthetic photos in my free time. But who's deciding what aesthetic should be defined as? As such, in these aesthetic photos, girls are often skinny, small-waisted, and heavily tanned. But what if I don't look like that? What if my skin quite literally just burns? Because that's what the internet is telling us. And every time I see those photos, I think, why can't I look like that? Or what am I doing wrong? The answer is simple. I, nor all the other millions of girls online, aren't doing anything wrong. Society is. Society is teaching all women that to be that aesthetic, you must only look a certain way. As Alicia said, you must fit into the mold. My question, what if we didn't? What if we redefine the word aesthetic? Maybe girls' mental health would stop dropping. Maybe for once, just for once, me, Alicia, and all the other girls out there can feel like they are enough.
Let's think about this. If beauty standards were truly natural, wouldn't they stay the same? But they don't. They change depending on trends, cultures, media, and even money. Companies often promote certain looks because it helps them sell products. Makeup, skincare, clothing, even diet plans. If they can convince you there's something wrong with you, they can sell you the solution. That's powerful.
But here's what's even more powerful. You. You have more control than you think. You can choose who you follow. You can unfollow accounts that make you feel insecure. You can support creators who celebrate real bodies and real diversity. And most importantly, you can decide that your worth isn't based on how closely you match a trend or what you look like.
Beauty standards can affect mental health. They can lead to low self-esteem, anxiety, body image issues. But imagine what could happen if we changed the focus.
Every single person in this room looks different. Different heights, different shapes, different skin tones, different smiles. And that's not a problem. That's humanity. Beauty doesn't come in one shape. It never has, and it never will.
We're not saying appearance doesn't matter at all. It's okay to enjoy fashion. It's okay to enjoy makeup. It's okay to want to feel confident in how you look. But confidence should come from self-expression, not pressure. There's a difference between choosing how you look and feeling forced to look a certain way.
So next time you see a perfect image, ask yourself, is this real? Is this edited? Is this just one version of beauty? And then remind yourself, you are not a trend, you are not a comparison, you are not a before and after photo. You are already enough.